Hello, and welcome back to the Making Fire podcast. This is a podcast where two longtime besties talk about their favorite TV show, Survivor. Chili Dog?
Yeah,
This week we'll be covering episode 8.
I think so.
8 of Survivor season 49. How insane is that? But before we get into this crazy episode, I have to ask Riley, how are you?
Before I get into that, I have to say I was at my little cousin's 4-year-old birthday party over the weekend, and Bluey was on in the background, and I got to explain all the Bluey lore to all the adults. I would be on Roblox, Bluey's sister Bingo. That is my
Right.
that's my Roblox name. But they kept asking questions, and I was like, well, a lot of them didn't know Bluey was a girl. That seems to always be the thing that gets adults, is they don't know Bluey's a girl.
Well, because blue equals boy, obviously.
Obviously, like, girl. Get
How
with the
did
fucking
you get
program.
into the Bluey lore?
So here's the funny thing, is that I'm not really into Bluey in that world, like that into Bluey. Like, I don't like watch the show. I think the characters are cute, and sometimes it'll like come up on my free, like on TikTok, and I'll like watch a thing or whatever. But I just think Bluey, I just think it's I think the cartoon is cute. And I just needed a random Roblox name, and I was like, what? And we must have been, like, my sibling Rowan and I must have been in, like, a Bluey, like, must have been in, like, a mood or something like that. It just must have been, like, a joke that we had at the moment, and I was like, oh, because my first one, but then I got locked into the account, was Eureka, You Found It, off of the drag queen Eureka O'Hara, because that was her verse. Eureka, You Found It. Anyway, so it really mostly started with the Bluey sister Bingo name, and everybody always calls me Blue. My avatar is a Smurf. Well, specifically Smurfette.
Yeah.
Specifically Smurfette. So most of the time people will call me Smurf. They'll be like, Smurf, and I'm like, hey, Rihanna, I did it before you. Don't ever try to clock my tea like that. Or they'll call me Bluey. But really, if you read my full username, my name is Bingo. I'm just letting you know that I'm Bluey's sister Bingo.
Love.
What a wild. How am I doing? I'm doing great. I want to talk. I talked about tennis. Did I talk about tennis last week? Maybe the week before.
I don't remember.
Give or take, y'all. It just blends together. I have to talk about, last couple of times I've talked about tennis is obviously like watching tennis. I have to talk about playing tennis real quick. It's just the idea of it, the concept of, playing tennis is so interesting. That's it. That's the thought. No. Well, it's the perfect time of year. It's just on the cusp of getting too cold out where I live. The cusp of, like, frigid. But there's still perfect days. This last weekend was amazing. The weather was perfect. It was perfect to be outside. It wasn't too cold. It wasn't rainy. It was just nice. And we have a lot of parks around where I live, and so a lot of public parks offer tennis courts, and so we tried a couple different tennis courts out this weekend, and it was quite magical, if I do say so myself. It just was like the perfect, like, backdrop to playing, And I highly recommend playing tennis, even if you just go for fun. Maddie and I were talking pre-recording that sometimes you can get like an intense like match, and I don't have the skill or technique enough, and I can admit that I could like probably do a full match, in the sense that I probably wouldn't be a great person to play against. But my family and I like to just go hit and do a couple rallies, hit the ball back and forth. Sometimes we'll do points if we'll play to like 3 games, just like or 3 game set. Yeah, 3 games. But we have to talk about the epidemic of pickleball taking over tennis courts.
Oh, I'm sick. Oh, there's nothing worse than when I go to try a new tennis court.
That triggered something in her. That
it just
woke her
woke
up.
me up.
That woke her up. That was a sleeper agent that got her going.
There is nothing worse than when I want to go try a new tennis court out, and it's not updated on Google Maps, and I show up
It's
and
a
it's
fucking
just a
pickleball
pickleball court. Oh, it'll ruin my Saturday.
It will ruin your day.
Genuinely, it's so infuriating.
So my dad, stepmom, and I, shout out, and our little dog Hossie, we went out to go try this tennis court on Saturday, and my parents had biked past it multiple times, and so they knew it was there. They knew it was a tennis court. We get there, and there's one a duo in one court. So it's two individual courts and each they're chained up. Because sometimes, you know, you go to those courts and it's like 3 courts, but it's all in one thing. This one, each court was boxed in with its own chain fence. So one person, a duo was in one court and they were playing pickleball. They had set up their own net and were playing pickleball because the court's markings, it was basically all pickleball courts. And then under it, you would have to like read the lines to see the lines for singles and doubles for tennis. Mm-hmm. But the tennis nets were still up. So I was like, okay, obviously you can still play tennis here because these are tennis nets, not pickleball nets. Yeah. And the tennis lines are still drawn. So they were playing in their own thing, and we were like, that's totally chill. We'll take the other one and play in that one. The other one, that they had swept the one they were playing in to get an even ground. We didn't have, there was no brooms, or I think they had a leaf blower. We'll get there. The leaf blower. There was nothing. So we were playing with all the debris, all like the leaves and the twigs and the pine cones on the thing. And we were just having fun. We were playing. Those motherfuckers on the playing pickleball kept looking at us. And I was like, what's the vibe? What's going on? Whatever. That we were playing for we were probably on that court for maybe 40 minutes. We were like in it, like we got warmed up, we were playing back and forth, and they kept looking at us, and then more people kept arriving, like sprinkling in, and we're also playing pickleball. So then my stepmom and I were playing on the same side, and my dad was playing on the other side of the net, and I was like, I wonder if we'll probably be fine because there's enough space for 4 fucking pickleball courts that like they have it sectioned out. So I was like, if they play doubles, because more and more people kept showing up, like a lot of people were showing up, and I was like, well, that's 16 people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 16 people who could play at the same time, play pickleball at the same time. Like you guys, they will be fine. I don't even think there was 16 people yet. So more and more people are showing up, like probably 12 people at this point, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Y'all, I can count too, what the fuck. And then this older gentleman comes to our court and we're playing and he goes, hey. And my dad turns around and he was like, yeah, what's up? And the guy was like, sorry to bother you guys, but we were hoping, we have some people coming who are waiting on this court to play pickleball. But there are courts just not even that, like, they weren't that far away. It was like a 30-second walk away. But he was like, up on top of the hill, there's a tennis only courts where you can go play tennis. Mm-hmm. And my dad was like, oh, sure, we'll move. And then I got annoyed as fuck because I was like, girls, what?
Like, you can't reserve the...
Allegedly, I think you can, but that's not the point. But the point is, what really pissed me off the most, I think you could reserve it. I wasn't really sure, but what angered me the most was I was like, he was the most recent person to arrive, which meant there were at least 12 other people there before him. And what pissed me off, we got to the tennis court and I was feeling it in my head and I was like, I just need to speak it out into the universe and then I'll stop thinking about it. It'll be okay. Mm-hmm. We were playing tennis and I said, you guys, we have to stop real quick. I just have to say, what pissed me off about the situation is not that we had to move. It was the fact that we had already been there for 40 minutes. There was somebody already there before we got there. Mm-hmm. And nobody of like the 12 people that were there said anything about them having reserved both courts.
Yeah.
Until we were warmed up and we were playing and we were going back and forth and they knew that because we were playing. We weren't just being silly on the court. Like we were, playing tennis. I was like, damn, like, no, not one person had the balls to come over and just politely ask. If the people who were there when we got there, when we started playing, had said, hey, just a heads up, we reserved both courts and people are going to be coming to play, we would have moved immediately. Yeah. Or we would have been like, thank you, let us know when the people get here and we'll move. Yeah. That is what pissed me off. Is like, I just if they had told us from day zero.
Or one of your dogs being...
Guys, that dog ate a whole tray of IKEA cinnamon rolls this morning. That will be tomorrow's update. How about that? Check out the Patreon for that story. And anyway, wrap that up. That's my thought. The epidemic of pickleball taking over tennis courts. Y'all, fuck pickleball. Play tennis. Get real. Be real. Be real. Nobody wants to be real.
What? I hate the sound of people saying pickleball. Girl, I hate that word.
Like, and the sound, and I hate the actual sound of like the wiffle ball hitting the thing, it's not even a racket. What would you call it? The
paddle.
The paddle. Girl, play a real sport. Men used to go to war, and now they're hitting fucking wiffle balls with a fucking paddle. taking
And
over
making it their
tennis
whole
courts.
personalities.
Their whole fucking personality. Like, girl, it's not that serious at the end of the day. Let me fucking let me play the real man sport. Thank you.
And, I'm just such a pro tennis. Like, I'm anti pickleball.
When I was explaining to my stepmom and my dad, I was like, this is a real issue in places like major metropolitan cities like New York, where New York was having a problem where pickleball was taking over.
Yes.
Nobody could play tennis anywhere, to the point where their Parks and Rec department had to step in and dedicate like specific tennis only places because pickleball was taking over.
Yes.
Anyway,
I hate it. It makes me so mad.
Y'all, like, enjoy tennis. Like, enjoy...
Tennis is so fun.
Enjoy the tennis court for the way God intended it to be enjoyed.
And just get better knees.
Get better knees. Anyway, that's how I'm doing. Maddie, how are you doing?
I am doing good. I love sort of marinating on what I'm going to talk about while you're talking. Right. And I think
this was literally me last week. I was sitting there like, I think
this week, I want to talk about getting into sort of fall baking, fall cooking.
Right. Fall baking or fall baking? You know what I
mean. Fall baking.
Got it.
I just love a good, warm, cozy recipe, both a dinner and a sort of dessert thing. Lately, I hate growing up. I just want to say that because why do I understand the appeal? Yeah, growing up. Why do I understand like why crock pots are so great?
No, they'd be thrown down. No shade.
I started learning how to make some good crock pot meals, a good roast. Oh, there is nothing like it in the fall.
Very British of you.
Oh, I guess so. I do unfortunately love some British. I cannot knock them. They really did their big one with beans on toast. I love it.
And I did not force you to say that. I just want that to be on. And y'all think she's joking. She is not joking either. She throws down for some beans and toast.
Logan and I. Oh my god.
Like, y'all think she's putting one on. She's not. I can tell you she is not.
We love making baked beans. Like a big thing. We do that actually like kind of not super irregularly, where we will, well, I specifically will make like a thing of baked beans for us, and then that's like our main meal all weekend. Like,
do you ever the British ones, they like the Heinz branded baked beans?
I don't do that because I don't want to. I don't know. I like my Bush's baked beans, and then we have our way of like modifying it to make it even better.
Well, of course,
all of that. But I just like a good roast with, oh my god, I love like a carrot in a roast, like when it gets all soft and perfect, and mashed potatoes, and these meals are just so warm and cozy and good. And then this past week I made homemade pumpkin cinnamon rolls for the first time. Oh my god, they turned out so perfect and delicious and amazing. And it was just like so satisfying making stuff from scratch sometimes. Like, I'm not always a like from scratch is better person, because sometimes I think there is a time and a place for like store bought or like pre-made whatever. They were so fire, and it was so fun to like, I don't know.
But was it cinema?
It was cinema. Thank you, Rizzo. It was so perfect. And I think this weekend, okay, it's really hard to source these like little cinnamon chips that go in like scones and stuff, and you can usually only get them in the store in the fall, so Logan and I will stock up on them. And so I think this weekend I'm gonna make some cinnamon chip scones for us to sort of have for the next while. And it's just so fun. I love baking and cooking, especially when like my kitchen doesn't get all hot in the summertime, like having the oven on all day. It's just so fun and cozy. Also, getting into movies is very big for me this time of year. I watched 2 movies this last weekend, which was super fun. And now I'm like, I love this time of year in between, like when it's in between Halloween and Christmas, where it's just like perfect cozy movies. Like, I can't wait. I think we're gonna put our Christmas tree up maybe next weekend, and the first thing I'm putting on, Little Women 2019. Like, I'm just like craving watching that.
I've yet to see it, but I need to watch it.
You absolutely need to watch it. It's like a top 5 movie for me. I love it so much. So I'm just leaning into the fall cozy vibes and having a great time. It also snowed this weekend, so it's this past week, so feeling very cozy. Feeling
very hashtag hey y'all, it's fall.
Right. Um, but are you ready to get into this episode?
I am.
If my stupid freaking Chungus life.
Fuck
That's all I
my
want to say.
stupid Chungus life.
My
Girl,
stupid
I'm
Chungus
actually
life.
so devastated.
So
Y'all, MC robbed at the end of the day. Like, she should not have gone home. I'm sorry, but
I mean, I agree. I can't defend some of her actions this week.
dare I say, like, she wasn't even that messy.
I'm sure. Okay. Like, it'll come up pretty fast. But I want to say, I don't understand, like, the drama of her playing her idol, the tribal, before. Like, it was the first merged tribal.
Mm-hmm.
She had no reason to trust, like, this giant group when her name was very obviously, like, on the chopping block. She had that sort of moment with Savannah, who, like, she would rightly assume, like, she is not wrong to assume that they would want to get her out after that, like, with the idol. Like, I just don't think it was that big of a deal, but it became, like, a huge shift for a lot of people against her.
I don't understand how it went from how it got so heavily only understood as a trust thing. To me, very clearly, again, like, I'm not on the island, whatever, blah, blah, blah. To me, it was not an issue of trust for MC. It was an issue of, everybody knows I have this idol. Why would I keep an idol that everybody knows about?
Yes.
You know, like, why would I hold on to this? There's no point. It doesn't have a use for me.
And why would she want to risk going home with an idol in her pocket?
That's what I'm
makes
saying.
no sense.
I don't think it was an issue of trust, and I think that is the detriment of players like Jawan. And, you know, I've had moments with Jawan this season where I've, like, tried to hype him up, and but, like, I've tried to hype him up, and I do think just, like, he deserves hype in some moments with some moves he's made this season and some of the things he's been able to accomplish. But there's things that I'm like, you're so easily persuaded.
His logic and reasoning on things.
Yeah,
like, where
it's
is
off
this coming
sometimes.
from?
And I'm like, and he's so easily being told by Rizzo. I mean, much later in the episode, Rizzo's like, you're gonna, like, let that happen? And John's like, well, no. But I'm like, why are you trusting Rizzo's perspective so much when you just blindsided him? Yes. I would not want to listen. I wouldn't trust anything Rizzo says, knowing that Rizzo now has a full-on vendetta against me.
Right?
But maybe, hey, I've never been on the show. I don't know who knows what I'm saying.
I
don't
am
get
just
paid
so
the
upset.
I don't get paid the big bucks like they do over there. I've never gotten $1 million for nothing. So.
And I'm like, I need to see MC come back. And I know I say this about, like, a lot of people, but I really do think, like, she was playing such a good game and had so much more to give and was so interesting. And I'm just like, you know what? I stand by her as my winner pick.
I stand by her as your winner pick too. I really thought she was going to make it far. I thought she was positioned really nicely. I hope she gets brought back at one point. She's a comp beast, literally.
Yes.
Like, so amazing at competitions. Socially, she seemed to be really well-rounded.
And she was thinking strategically well the entire time.
I know.
My one thing is that I wish she hadn't shared the Sophie stuff with Jawan. Because if she already, like, I'm sure we'll get there, but just to say my piece on it, I feel like if she already knew that Jawan was, like, weird about her, and, like, it seemed like she knew she needed to rebuild trust with him, and that he had made that clear to her that he was having some feelings post the past tribal. I almost wish she wouldn't have said anything, because if it had come down to a tie, then she could have voted him out, like, no hard feelings. You know?
Sorry, just trying to, like, fix my camera. No, I agree. And fuck the system at the end of the day.
Right. Okay, let's just jump into this episode. We open on the group coming back from the first merged tribal council, where Nate was voted out, and Jawan is feeling great about the revenge that he got on his old Uli tribe mates. Steven is happy to have the majority and see the tables turned on the dynamics at camp. And then Sophie B. So I was not to like
M to the B.
not to like be against Sophie S at all, but I was sort of hoping for a Sophie boot so we could just narrow it down to one.
Right.
Sophie B goes to Steven and is like, "Hey, I voted for you, sort of, my bad on that. And she talks also to her old buddy Alex and is like, hey, people aren't mad at you about this, and it's Savannah and Rizzo really that they're going for. And she's like, okay, I maybe need to part ways with them at this point anyways, like things are looking a bit dicey. And then MC tells us that she wanted to use her idol to see if she can trust her allies, and about how, as we discussed already, some people are upset with her about that, specifically Jawan. And then Jawan also, there was a lot of back and forth after this. Jawan also talks to Rizzo to be like, hey, by the way, we're still good. But really he wants to get Savannah out next. And Rizzo is happy to now have a bit more of a fluid game with other people now that Nate is out, and to still have his idol, which is great for him. And then Rizzo and Savannah talk, and they're like, wow, sort of, that was a tough moment for us, but let's not be bitter and get to working on our relationships with everyone else. It was a big shakeup.
I know. It was the blind side. There hasn't been a real first blind side like that, or like a major blind side like that yet this season. So I think it just threw a lot of people. For a couple of people, that was their first tribals. So it's like,
yeah. What a crazy way to start that out.
Right.
The next day, they are working on their tribe banner, and it looks like their name is Luatu.
Yeah.
I don't think we ever heard it.
I don't think
we
anybody
just saw it
ever
written
said it
out.
either.
Then Alex goes for a stroll to look for the idol with Steven and Christina, and Christina finds it, and it's just a straight up idol. No beware advantage nonsense. But we pretty quickly move on from
Back
that.
in my day.
Right. We kind of gloss over that. But Christina also tells Alex and Steven that she would use it for one of them.
Girl, like, why the fuck would you say that, number one? Number two, I don't understand group idol hunts. Like, I don't get it at the end of the day. I understand why, because you want to
know who has it.
Right, you want to know. It's better to know the what's the phrase? It's better to know the
Keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
No. But it's better to know the devil you know than the devil you don't.
Oh, I think so.
Something like
that.
I get what they're saying, but I
just
don't.
I don't like it.
Girl, like Christina, not everybody, like the two people know, and both people admitted that they will use that against you if they have to.
Yes, I think Alex was like excited about that. I know who has the idol, and I will use it against her if it comes to it.
There's a lot of advantage stuff going around right now, and I'm really hoping that Soph's knowledge is power has some crazy move this season. Like, I hope something happens.
Yes, I hope so. Then Jawan and Steven are talking, and they agree that Savannah should be the one to go next, and everyone is afraid of her, and she's just a big threat. Then on the beach, we have Sage and Sophie B talking, and Sage wants to rebuild a relationship with her, and then Sage also talks about how Savannah has been picking on her this whole time, and just how she talks to her, talks about her. It's not great. And Sophie says that she isn't attached to Savannah and Rizzo at all and would love to work with Sage moving forward. And we also have Sage saying, like, I can be a mean girl too. Which is funny.
I don't want to jump to all the Savannah stuff this episode, but I will start the conversation, get it rolling, and we can come back to this.
It starts in this section. So.
Oh, it does. It's about to start.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you
No, you go.
I was just gonna say, both Sage and Savannah's experiences are valid. I think both are telling truths. Nobody is getting the wrong vibe from the situation. But both things can be true at once. Savannah can be mean to Sage while also feeling isolated, and both of those situations can be valid. Do I think Savannah is in an isolated situation? 100%.
Yes.
Yes. She's probably the worst positioned person in this whole tribe at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So do I get what she's saying? And is it traumatic for her? Of course. But has she been not
unkind?
I would say unkind. I don't know if I'd say full on mean girl to Sage, but has she been unkind and not really flexible and willing to work with Sage in the past? literally 100% yes, that was the case on their OG tribe. Like, she did not fuck with Sage. So I don't know.
And she's very, like, threatening and cutthroat, like,
Yes.
outwardly in her
Yes.
actions. Like,
mind you, last episode when MC found the idol,
Exactly.
Sage, Savannah literally, like, almost
lunges
tackled her
at
to the
it.
ground to get
Yes.
it.
Like,
Both things can
people
be true.
are perceiving your actions in a non-incorrect way. Like, you are acting a certain way,
Right.
but also you can feel your own emotions. I fully agree with you.
Yeah.
And, like, why... I think, like, not... Like, I hear what Savannah is saying, and I do think it would feel super isolating, but also, why would people want to work with you after, like,
Right.
that has sort of been your vibe since getting to know you? So,
Yeah, and you're very clearly now on the bottom, which means anything can happen. Like,
yeah,
how truthful are the words you're saying? Are you just trying to save yourself?
exactly. Then at the water well, Savannah joins Sophie and Sage and asks Sage what she thinks that her sort of group will do next. And Sage gives a very non-answer to this and directly asks the question back to Savannah, who's like, I don't know. Like, that is such a cutthroat thing to ask, like, your, like, enemies, sort of. Like, you're not in the same alliance. Like, you're
Right.
actively working against each other. Like, straight up asking, so what are you guys gonna do next?
Yeah.
Like, that feels very, like, confrontational.
I understand what you're saying. I don't know if it came to me, like, when I viewed it, I don't know if I read it as, like, a confrontational moment. If anything, I was more not on Savannah's side, but, like, Sage is in the power position, and I'm like, when Sage asked the question back to Savannah, I was like, girl, what are you expecting her to answer? Savannah literally, like, was the most blindsided person last night. I don't know
That's true.
what, like, you're expecting Sage to or Savannah to say in response, but the point of that comment is no, yeah. But I agree. I still agree with your point that sometimes Savannah's language can come off very pointed. Your tone seems very pointed right now.
Yes. Then we have a confessional from Savannah where she says that Sage is really the one in the power seat and is playing the victim when in reality everyone wants to work with her. Which I would not say that, like, that is the experience that Sage has necessarily had.
Right. And I think it's just miscommunication. I also just think it's the type of people they are. I don't know. I think
They're playing so different. Too.
Right. And it's hard. I don't know. Both are true. I think both of their opinions on the situation are valid. And I think, like, feelings are valid. Feel your feelings, whatever. Facts over feelings, whatever the people say. But I like, at the end of the day, but it's hard when, I mean, again, like, are we really getting the full story? Who knows? But
Yeah.
as an audience member, it's hard to see either feel a certain way, because it's like, you guys just need to, like, sit down and talk.
Well, and they've just had this interesting dynamic from the very beginning. Like,
Right.
on original Uli, Sage was on the outs of this alliance.
We say it about a lot of things, but at the end of the day, this is very girl so confusing.
It's so girl stuff confusing. But then they've been separated.
Right.
Like, you don't know what other people are going through. Everyone's, walking their own path.
Girl.
Okay, but then we have Savannah talking about sort of her story, and she gets emotional about how no one wants to work with her on the beach, and she's having a hard time. And then she gets into her situation with her past job. I remember we had talked about it a bit.
Literally, again, the first thing that came to my head, I was like, oh, okay, right.
Here we go.
The pieces are connecting.
Yes.
For those who don't remember, Maddie and I had a whole thing during that when we were reviewing everybody's cast assessment. We were like, what do you mean a former reporter? Like, that's not a job.
So, to get into that a little bit, while in her past job, people were against her because she had, like, taken the role of someone else, but then, like, they never really got to know her. Mm-hmm. And she was very much, like, ousted from the group, and people would be nice to her on camera, but then, like, would talk bad about her behind her back, like, and openly once the cameras weren't rolling. And her current situation in Survivor is just bringing up a lot of those emotions for her. But she's ready to get back to work and get through this.
I feel so bad for her. That was such a sad thing to share.
Sucks.
Also, randomly shared it with Steven of all people. I was like,
Steven, it felt like he was just kind of...
in the wrong place at the wrong time. Like, he just was there and she needed to tell somebody. She started the conversation. Did I tell you about my past work situation? Steven said no. I'm like, girl, when would that have ever came up? Like, truly, when would that have ever? Because it sounds like you were trying to suppress it. Like, when would that have ever came up?
Well, right, because then I'm like, well, did you have this conversation with other people?
Right, like, has this come up naturally in conversation through other people? I feel like I doubt that. But I will say, yeah, I do feel for Savannah. That's really sad. I think at one point she said she got so stressed out that it affected her hormones, and that she's unable to have children now.
Yes, like, her whole life has changed after this.
That's really intense.
That's horrible.
Bro, like, that's intense, bro.
For real, bro.
No cap.
I wonder what her relationship is with Steven, like, outside of this. I feel like I haven't really seen them interact.
No, that's why I was like, this is so weird that you're talking to Steven about this. Like, I don't know, maybe she was... And I was watching this episode with my Madre last night, and she... ¿Cómo se dice mom? I was watching it with my mom last night, and she... I think the vibe that she got was that Savannah was using that as a game piece to try to build a better bond with the people who blindsided her that night. And I think that is sort of mostly, to me, what it could read as. Talking to Steven of all people about this. My mom was like, she's just using this to, like...
Oh, no.
I know. And I was like, I don't...
I kind of just saw as Steven was just, like, the person there when this was sort of taking place.
My mom goes, is this even a true story? And I was like, I think it is. Like, I don't think... I was like, she used to work in, like, a news station, so, like, the facts that she didn't, like, Savannah didn't outright say she was a news reporter, but the language she was using very much, like, guided, like, she was like, when I was on air, blah, blah, blah. So, Savannah, my mom is not your biggest fan, but I understood where you're coming from, Queen.
Your mom's giving Courtney.
my mom said, at the end of the day, like, at the end of the day, you're just talking to talk.
Okay. Moving on from all of that, we head to the immunity challenge, and the gist of this is they have to hold themselves up between two walls, standing on footholds, and they work their way down to increasingly smaller footholds. The gag is there are two competing teams.
The gag is
they're split randomly into two teams, and the team that wins are all safe and won't go to tribal, and they also get a reward of DIY sandwiches.
Girl, fuck you. Make that fucking sandwich for me. My dirty ass hands. I don't want to have to make my sandwich.
I saw a comment from someone that's like, every day we get closer to the reward just being a random assortment of groceries.
No, the reward is they get to go to the local grocery store. They have to pick out their dinner for the night,
and
then
they
each
each get $5.
Right.
And then they're gonna have to, like, Top Chef.
There's one secret ingredient.
Yes.
There's one secret ingredient they have to work with.
Yes.
Damn. Yeah, I'm like, girl, like, y'all don't got the budget to just make the fucking sandwiches? Like, what?
Get a Subway sponsor.
I understand.
Get a sandwich artist.
Get a sandwich artisan out on the island. I'm telling y'all. Yeah. I liked this twist. I am happy because, you know, they've done it versions in the past where one whole, like, 6 people win immunity and still everybody goes to tribal and votes.
Yes.
I liked that it was sort of back into the tribe dynamic. We'll get into it later. I really liked this twist with Savannah coming back into the picture. Loved it. Again, we've talked about this, you know, more at the beginning of the season than recently, but I had brought up the fact that I feel like Survivor 49 is going to be a tester season for the Waters of 50, because there are a ton of things that not only have fans complained about from season 41 through season 48, fans complaining, but also Survivor alumni have been complaining about these things. And so I think they're really using 49 as a way to keep the new era ideas that the producers love, like, that they've used since season 41. They obviously really want that to be part of their game mechanics, but you can't have Survivor Legends on this season if you're pulling shit like that. You know what I mean?
No, I'm really loving this, and I'm just loving the changes that they're making. It feels like they are listening to the fans. I am wondering why it has taken so long to get to this point.
I think it's because of Survivor 50. I think if Survivor 50 was not the case, we would be eating the same old shit. Like, maybe they wouldn't, because even if Survivor 50 was like a normal season, maybe it's because it's a new era, you know what I mean? Like the 50s of Survivor, what's that going to look like?
Yeah.
So maybe they would have changed some stuff up, but I can't imagine if Survivor 50 wasn't happening that they would have done a huge, like, shift. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, and yeah, the overall winner of the challenge gets an advantage as well that we'll find out later. But to get to these teams, on blue we have Sage, Rizzo, MC, Jawan, and Sophie S. And on yellow we have Steve, Christina, Sophie B, Savannah, and Alex. It looks hard.
On paper, I thought the blue tribe was going to blow it out of the water. I was like, there's going to be no competition here.
I was shocked. Watching their bodies, like, try and stay up, like, the shaking, it looks really painful and hard.
I do wish, and we say this once, I feel like every season, that I wish they would just let the competition go for 12 hours. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I obviously don't think this challenge specifically is a great example of that. Like, I can't imagine this challenge would ever last longer than an hour, whether their footholds were, like, you know, normal or not. But I'm just like, why are we... And then they try to make it look so intense. And I won't argue that the competition wasn't physically straining. It looked very physically straining, I could imagine. But when they cut away, the editing was so intense, and it was going in and out, and we were zooming in, and everybody was making faces and grunting and sweating. I was like, oh my god, they've been going forever. Cut to, why have they only been going for 15 fucking minutes?
I think I would prefer, because this challenge
maybe
felt
I
like
sit on the toilet and poop longer than 15 minutes. Like I don't know what to tell you.
And thank you for being vulnerable. Maybe you should see a doctor.
Girl, okay, can I not be fictitious? Can I not hyperbolize?
Anyways, I think I would prefer if they just, like, stayed on a medium foothold.
Yeah.
And waited it out. Like, I didn't love how it felt like quite a few people dropped in the live transitions. I wish they could have just, like, gotten locked in and stayed like that.
There's something, to me, maybe it's not as exciting because there's not as much tension, you know, but as a viewer, I'm like, damn, you've been going for 3 hours. It's really all on the line right now. Like, you're giving 100%, you know?
Yes.
To me, that's more, to me, my viewership, that is more exciting, just being like, damn, they are really, for 15 minutes, like, again, I imagine it was difficult, and I can sympathize with that, but... it's not exciting, especially when you have so much to compare it to in Survivor history. It's not
exciting to watch people lose the challenge by falling during the transitions,
right?
Like, because then it's like I don't know, getting back settled in. I just don't like that. I'd rather see them like their bodies fail and collapse on them.
Right. I really liked, I don't know if you're going to talk about this, but the editing moment where Sophie is praying, and she's praying to God, and she's like, the rosary, and he's like, protect the women.
Or Hail Mary, Hail Marys, I think she's doing. So I'm not Catholic.
I'm not either. I'm sorry. I can't tell you the exact prayer that is being used, but I did like it. I thought that editing moment was really sweet. And then she's like, protect the women, and it cuts to her, and then Sophie, and then MC, and then I think Jawan was the only man left, and so he's tacked on at the end. But I thought that was I liked that editing moment with her prayer playing in the background as they showed each woman. I liked that. But I did have a freak out moment where I was like, because I always think when they do that sort of not panning out, but when it goes black, you know, when it goes dark, I always think about Edge of Extinction when Lauren passed out in the challenge. And she was doing a similar balancing sort of endurance challenge, and she fell off the post. And it was kind of like a hard fall because she literally blacked out. Every time it goes black like that, I'm like, oh my God, someone's about to pass out. And it didn't happen, so...
Also, one more thing that I liked about the structure of this challenge, I like that they can't see each other.
Yeah.
I think that's like a really interesting mind game of like, you're only hearing, like listening for what's going on, but you can't like watch your other person struggle. So you have to be so focused on yourself.
Yeah, and even Jeff said at one point, Jeff was like, people could be making grunting sounds, making faces, whatever. It's never a true indicator of how they're feeling. Like, people just put on pain in different ways, pain management in different ways.
Yeah. Well, it comes down to a showdown between Sophie S. and Savannah. And
Sophie
Savannah
S. was going to be such a, like,
I know.
challenge threat. I'm just like, how is this girl gonna... I thought she was gonna get eliminated. We'll get there this episode, because I'm like, she's had no screen time. There's no way that she's gonna last long into the merge. But I'm like, she's kind of becoming a pivotal character in this post-merge.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Well, this is huge for Savannah, obviously. She really needed this win. And the losers are headed to Old Uli Camp to sort things out before Tribal Council. So we go to the Uli camp, and Sophie is disappointed to not have won it for her tribe, but is ready to go tonight and get Rizzo out. Sophie then wants to use herself as bait to get Rizzo out because they're nervous about him having an idol. And she's having this conversation with Juwan and Sage. And I thought it was interesting to like bring yourself up as bait.
I think that's a good... I mean, I don't know if good for her game. She's so close to the bottom that I don't know if that's a risk she should take. But I understand she's trying to create better bonds with the people in the game. Like, she wants people to know that they can trust her.
And that she puts her trust in them.
Right.
Yeah. Then
but
Juwan...
she's too close to the bottom to be doing that shit.
Yeah.
Like,
let's start doing no-nos-goes or something.
Right.
So then Juwan and Sage go talk to Rizzo and are like, okay, let's Old Uli stick together. And Rizzo says that he doesn't care if they vote for MC or Sophie tonight. It's up to them, but I'm with you guys. And they obviously say Sophie is part of the plan. And then Sophie talks to MC and is like, okay, I'm not telling anyone else about this, but I'm placing my vote on Juwan. So if Rizzo plays an idol, then at least there's a tie. And in the revote, we can vote Juwan out and save me. Which, it's unfortunate that MC did take this information out of this conversation, because I like this. And if something were to happen, it would come down to Sophie.
Right.
So, yeah, MC then uses this information to rebuild trust with Juwan, and obviously this completely shakes Juwan up and sort of blows everything up.
It really shows you that it just takes one bad move. You could have a season of good place, like good positioning and positive relationships and positive challenge performances, but it takes one wrong sentence and one wrong idea to really just throw off your whole season. I also don't think, and we could talk about this once we get to the tribal, but I don't think it helps that MC was on a split tribal sort of moment. But I feel like it would have been... I understand where MC was coming from. And I really don't think it was in anybody's best interest for MC to go home tonight. Mm-hmm. Except maybe Juwan's. But I understand what MC was thinking in trying to repair her relationship with Juwan. Mm-hmm. But I feel like she doesn't lose anything if Juwan goes home. If Rizzo plays an idol and Juwan goes home, I don't think she loses anything. And if anything, if Rizzo ends up going home and Juwan stays and has one vote on him, Juwan's target now is not going to be MC. It is going to be Sophie. So for MC, it does not make any sense, because if you're worried about your relationship with Juwan, maybe the only negative that comes out of this is that, okay, Rizzo plays the idol, Juwan does actually go home. Maybe Juwan is a little bitter at MC, but ultimately MC, it's still not MC's vote that sent Juwan home. It was MC's. It was Sophie's vote
that put him in the position at all.
Right. So I don't think there's really any case scenario where, even though pre-tribal, maybe MC was Juwan's like number one target. I don't think it was that extreme, but like number one target within the situation, the context. Mm-hmm. I don't think there's a scenario where they all leave tribal and MC is still target number one for Juwan. Like, it really makes no sense to have said that. It was just she didn't think it through. I mean, I understand where she was coming from. I get it. I get what she was trying to do, but it just created so many more
I feel like there is
pitfalls
just no
for her.
reason to even want to work with Jawan moving forward. Like, if
Right.
I see, like, not only is his new distrust with MC so displaced, he is sprinkling that in everyone else's ear. I don't think it's in her interest to have him in the game anymore. Someone that is so willing to, like, lose your trust immediately.
Right, and
Because
tell
even
others, yeah.
when he is sharing with Sage about how he doesn't trust MC as much anymore, Sage is like, oh, like, okay, maybe that is a factor. But, like, that clearly wasn't something that she had really been thinking about. It really did come from Jawan.
Right.
And even if, let's say, he is better on the jury, let's say she makes it to the end and can explain this, I really don't think, like, there's any world in which she's a bad guy. Like, she
Right.
can once again explain, Sophie's the one that put the vote on you. It was her idea to do it. And then and then just explain the, like, weird trust thing post-idol. Like, just explain that.
Right, just say,
and I think them just, like, having a conversation about it or her speaking her side on it, like, immediately clears it up because clearly her intentions were not to, like, ruffle feathers.
Right.
Rustle.
Like leaves. I agree with everything you said. It was a silly mistake, and it was an unfortunate mistake because I don't know if MC had a lot of winning equity, but I do feel like she is somebody on any other seasons of any season, I think pre 40, MC's the type of player that makes it very late into the end game. Like, maybe she wins a couple seasons of Survivor here and there, depending on the cast, depending on twist or whatever.
Yeah.
I genuinely think she's a very well-rounded. She's not a super fan, which I love. She's a well-rounded. I think she's just a well-rounded player. I think she does well 7 times out of 10 on any season of Survivor other than this one. You know, I mean, she didn't even do bad. She made it to merge.
She made one mistake that
one
blew
mistake,
it up.
right? And a twist that most seasons of Survivor never have. You know, so
I'm also sad that her and Sophie couldn't end up working together. I think they would have been fun, and I think Sophie would have been a good, like, challenge performance competitor to MC to, like, keep that more on the DL. I don't know.
That's another thing. Again, why does it make sense for Sophie to go home? Or it makes sense for MC to go home because now MC, who arguably was the other challenge performer, if not, I mean, she hasn't performed great in the merge levels, but obviously she's the standout performer for pre-merge challenges. Sophie is isolating herself more and more as a challenge threat by taking out physical competition. If I was Sophie, and the argument from Rizzo and the argument from Jawan is we need to get MC out because she could win more challenges, or we need to, if that is an argument or whatever, I'd be like, actually, I need her to stay in this game. Like, I need that shield. Actually, Ellen, that's not the truth. You were invited.
Well, we go to the winning group, and they're enjoying their picnic and talking about what might be happening on the other beach. And Alex and others think that it's probably going to be Sophie tonight. Then Savannah gets to go see what her advantage is. And it's that she gets to join the losing group and attend Tribal tonight with her immunity necklace. And when she gets to the voting booth, she can either vote tonight or hold on to her vote for another night, which is so exciting. And then she gets on her little boat and zips on out of there.
I love this twist. I think this is a really fresh idea. I feel like this will be you're not really going to be able to replicate this twist in the future because now you know, like, oh, is the person actually going to vote or are they going to save their vote? What's the key? But I thought that this is great. And, like, I don't think the producers could have written a better person
scenario.
To have won it.
Yeah.
Right. Like, this was, like, the perfect scenario for a juicy episode.
Her pulling up to that beach is, like, cinema.
Right. Maybe cinema.
Obviously, I wish that the other group would have won, so MC would still be in the game. But, like, it wouldn't have had the same effect if Sophie had won.
Right, if Sophie had won and Sophie pulled up, they were like, okay, what the fuck is this girl gonna do? Like, maybe the adults are talking, let us do what we need to do, thank you. Right.
Then we are back at Old Uli, and Jawan shares the Sophie situation with Sage. And he tells her that he thinks it could be smart to get Sophie out now and that no one would really be mad about it. And they can go for Rizzo another time. And then Sage tells Sophie that MC spilled the beans on the Jawan thing. So then Sophie goes to Jawan and apologizes and comes clean and is like, I'm learning that I can't trust MC. Here's my pitch. Here's my situation. Like, hey, sorry about that. But also, like, I'm playing my game. I thought she had a really good, like, coming clean conversation about it. Of like, well, yeah. What do you, like, expect me to do?
Sort of, kind of. Like,
yeah. Then Savannah shows up on the beach, and I love that she calls herself the Grim Reaper, which is funny. And she's ready to cause some chaos.
Yeah.
And yeah, this whole situation is so stressful. So Savannah, filled with glee, joins the group, and she tells Rizzo that she can either vote tonight or keep it. And he wants to take the risk in all of this, and he also wants to not play his idol tonight, which he is confident. Rizzo wants to flip the script and vote for MC tonight instead of Sophie, which Sage disagrees with, obviously. Then Rizzo gets to work with Jawan. All of a sudden, by the way, Rizzo's in a power seat.
Which is insane, I feel like.
It is actually so crazy, like, how this played
kind
out.
of the untold beauty of this, like, twist is that it really, the fear... Do you hear my washing machine? Is that the fire alarm? No, it's my washing machine.
Oh.
It's one of those ones that does, like, a 2-minute song. The fear that Savannah's just presence brought on it totally, yes. And I'm like, girl, it's Savannah. You guys just blindsided both of them last night. It's 2 people of the 6 people voting, and Savannah isn't even voting tonight. And obviously, they don't know that, but I'm like, you guys still have the numbers to pull some shit off. I don't know, like,
just Savannah's energy and presence is so threatening to them that, like, everything crumbles, and all of a sudden Rizzo is the one calling the shots, basically.
Which is insane, y'all. This man is 24 years old. Like.
Right.
Get it together. Don't let this man be running shit. I mean, at the end of the day, he stole my RIZGOD, like Grizz God.
Of course. Oh, and I actually eat this up. And okay, now that MC is out, like, which is obviously unfortunate, and I would have preferred her to win it all.
Right.
But I am kind of excited to just fully be on the RIZGOD train.
Oh my god, we haven't even talked about me getting first pick for the Survivor 50 draft. Oh yeah. Well, I'm beyond thrilled. I feel like we can get there. I feel like we should try to do an actual draft for Survivor 50. I don't know. Maybe we'll get there. Too. We'll get there. You guys subscribe to the Patreon.
Write that down.
Write that down. Leave it in the comments. You know.
Okay. Then Rizzo gets to work with Jawan and pitches the MC vote to him and says that Sophie realistically isn't going to win every challenge. She didn't win today. She's not that big of a threat. It's not that big of a deal.
I think he said, Rizzo at one point goes, she's not the Terminator. I think Russell, I hate, not to platform Russell Hands on this podcast, but Russell has a great confessional from Samoa, his first season, where there's a guy that season, Brett, who wins like every single challenge, and Russell needs to get, obviously Russell doesn't win the season, but he needs to get Brett out, because at the final 4, Brett was like the last, like, that was the person standing in the way of his win, allegedly. Mm-hmm. And I think it's Muhammad, who does he say? Some sort of, like, fighter, that's what he says. He says, he's not Mike Tyson, he's Brett. Like, he's not unbeatable. It's literally Brett. We will be fine. Like, we'll be able to beat him. It will be fine. She's not the Terminator. It's fucking Sophie. Sophie S.
Sophie S.
It's Yellow Sophie, baby. We will be fine. It will be okay.
Exactly. So Rizzo wants to use this opportunity to build a relationship with Sophie and take out MC. And Sophie doesn't really want to work with any Uli people, though, so it's sort of a tough call for her. But then Sophie talks to MC about putting all the votes on Rizzo, and I just love MC. She's like, I'm getting a weird vibe tonight. From you specifically.
That is what got me. From you specifically is Wild MC, but this is why we need actual humans on Survivor and not just game body, like, Survivor watchers. People who walk the line.
I think you're lying to me.
And guess what? She was.
Oh, I love her. Okay. Sophie also says that like her own vote doesn't really matter. Sophie was very clearly thrown off by MC being so direct about this. And it makes me sad that like I wish that it could have been more Sophie versus Savannah. Or no, sorry, MC versus Savannah. Because Savannah is also very confrontational and direct, and MC gives it right back. Like,
yeah.
They are just two powerful forces that I wish we could have seen longer.
Two immovable objects meet. Is that what anyway, sorry.
I think so. Sage still wants to vote Rizzo out, but now with the addition of Savannah, things are more complicated. And she would like Sophie out as well, but after MC... Then she brings up MC's idol play and is like, well, I'm not really sure about the trust with MC after that. And I'm like, stop bringing this up. It's so, like, not even a point.
If people had just listened to Sage both nights,
Savannah would be on and Rizzo would be gone.
Yes. And none of this shit would be happening. Like, if we just listened how we needed to listen, I don't know. Like,
and I'm actually confused why Sage isn't on Survivor 50 at this point.
I will be interested. I would have rather had Sage or MC on than Kyle or Joe.
Yes.
And I hate to say it, maybe even Camilla. Not too much on my girl Camilla, but I'm just saying, like...
I agree with that.
We'll have to really do I mean, there's so many... Girl, we could do a whole Survivor 50 overhaul. Like, I keep forgetting that there is some bullshit going on in that casting couch. The casting vibe. Like, yeah. I just don't, like... There's some bullshit going on, and I feel like we could rework it and make it more... For 24 people, and this is what you came up with. Sorry, this isn't the time to be talking about all that. But Survivor 49, to me, has been more engaging than Survivor 48.
Yeah. Oh, in every single way.
And even maybe
I'm not leaving every episode feeling like these people are on a moral high ground over me, right. And like are actively playing against the game that I enjoy so much. Like, right. So right. We get to Tribal, and we just gotta say Nate pulls up to the jury with his little hat on, a little tip of the hat.
Hey, y'all, that man walked in fully clean shaven. I said, who the fuck is this? I was like, oh my god, I've never seen this man before a day in my life. Where did he just come from?
He's Nate shaped, he's tall, but he has a hat on and he doesn't have any facial hair.
It's really throwing me off, I have to be honest.
Is this Nate's twin brother or something?
Right.
It was awesome. Then they talk about the twist today and Savannah showing up to join at Tribal. They discuss the chaos of things and figuring out the vote with interesting dynamics in the fallout from last Tribal. They talk about Rizzo and his idol and how that impacts or doesn't impact things. And then Sophie speaks up and says that tonight it's either her or MC, but hey, don't vote for me. I want to see another day.
Right.
MC responds to this and is like, well, if you keep Sophie, she's going to keep playing with the people she's already been playing with. She's going to do well in challenges, and you're going to regret not getting her out now. Sophie then responds to this and says that I'm going to keep being a target, but that's actually the benefit of working with me. I want to move forward with the four of you after tonight's vote. Keep me, not her. And then right before they get to the vote, MC says, hey, Jeff, wait 1 second. And she pulls Juwan aside for a chat. And then she talks to Rizzo. Rizzo talks to Savannah and Sage. Sophie's sitting on the side, says, waiting. It's like waiting for my mom to pick me up from school. And then Juwan gets up and she's like, oh, my mom's here. And that was awesome.
Actually, my mom is here to pick me up. I told her to pick me up at 10:15, but she got here at 10:10.
Yeah. And then they talk. MC talks to Sage and Savannah, and then they all sit down and then head to the vote. I'm so curious about what was said.
I have to watch MC's press stuff because I'm sure she talked about it in press today. I just haven't been on social media. Like some of y'all watching this fucking podcast, some of us have real jobs. Like some of us have to go to work and aren't just listening to podcasts at home all day,
I know, that's my problem.
Me attacking our non-existent fan base. Like, actually, like, you guys need to, like, get the fuck off my back. Like, girl, like, I had stuff to do today. I'm sorry.
I feel like post episodes, I usually try and avoid everything, but maybe I should start reading the exit interviews. Or
I just feel
watching
like for me personally, the reason I stopped listening to stuff is that I will sometimes let that shape my opinion. And I'm recording a podcast. Our podcast is
I
meant
want
to
to
be
have my own opinion.
Right. Like, I don't want to be persuaded by other people's thoughts on the same thing that we're talking about. Since there's about 80 million other fucking Survivor podcasts that you can be listening to, I'm like, I need to make my reaction as genuine and as mine as possible. And by the time we talk about it, that's my Survivor outlet. I feel less that I need to, like, now go back and listen to what other people said.
Yes.
But I agree. I'm sure she talked about it today. And well... I'm interested to see. I'm sure we'll get some sort of flashback thing. I feel like that's what's happening is next episode it'll be a flashback, like, moment.
I agree. I was going to look up and see if anything comes up. But anyways... Savannah, once she gets to the voting booth, decides to save her vote for a later date when her butt is on the line, which I absolutely love that for her. I'm so excited that she kept it, and I can't wait to see what she does with it. And in the end, MC
goodbye.
But she's on the jury, so I'm very excited about that.
Why do I feel like she's about to turn a jury look? No shade. Like, I know she's about to be standing on that jury bench next to bald Nate. Mm-hmm. Girl, why are you wearing a hat? You're bald. And you know what? It might be time to have the conversation about why every time they do a split tribal, a black or brown person goes home. Maybe we need to wake that conversation up. That was the big thing I was seeing talked about today, and you really don't realize it until you look at the numbers, and the disparity that happens during split tribal twists is quite interesting. And I'm sure we could have a longer in-depth conversation about this at one point. I think it has to do with, obviously, like, familiarity. But when it comes to split tribal so quick into the merge, and a lot of these people are just, like, working... They've only known each other for a day or two, really, in the grand scheme of all of this, or when it comes down to week. So when you're doing a quick turnaround like that, for a lot of people, it comes down to how can I connect with this person on a personal level? Mm-hmm. Can I trust them inherently? And a lot of that comes down to white people being the majority and feeling like they can connect with white people more than they can other people, specifically black and brown people. So it's really interesting that MC is yet another unfortunate person to fall victim, unfortunate another black and brown person to fall victim to the split tribal twist on Survivor in the new era.
Yes.
And I did see her tweet, and it sounds like that she was going to have that conversation in some of her press interviews. So maybe I will go back and listen to a couple stuff and see what gets brought up. But that sounds like something that she brought up at some point from the vibe. But I'm really sad. I don't usually try to root for your winner picks because I like to win. But I really did like MC. Like I really enjoyed her. I think she was undervalued on this season, and I hope at some point in the future we get to see MC back on Survivor.
I need an unfinished business season.
I do too.
And I feel like she is
she's a perfect second chance. It just seems, again, like I've said it so many times, so well-rounded. Like I think she fits so many boxes.
She is too perfect of a player to only play once and to be the second jury member. And like Jeff said, it's post-merge, and the people that end up on the jury that like this at this point in the game, like these are people that are making Survivor history. Right. And I feel like she has proven that she is worthy of coming back.
MC, we're your fans. We love you over at the Making Fire podcast. And
we'll have to reach out to her, get her on the pod.
Right. We'll add her to the list.
We need a running list.
And add that on. Okay.
And that wraps up this episode of the Making Fire podcast. Thank you for watching this episode. And in the meantime, be sure to, follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Making Fire Pod. Go ahead and like and subscribe here as well on YouTube. Catch us on Spotify in the future.
All 5 of us.
And what are their names?
This one is... the B is I'll bring you a flower. Oh wait, that's not the B. The B is I'll bring you a flower. This one is Love Makes Us Cry. And this one is, and let's see, Eons Ago.
Oh, cute. Well, bye from all of us. We'll see you next week.
And this is Chili Dog. I can't wait to see how this turns out.
Bye.
Smooches.